Hello, everyone. And I'm mobilized that I have got this opportunity to meet so many young people, aspirants in the data science, and of course, most of the friendly people that I have met today. So, yeah, generally, uh, we like the tech heads, or if you think about the stand-up comedian, female candidates in these domains generally get the calls only around this Women's Day, not all through the year. I mean, I think that's the general trend. So, yeah, with that context, uh, let's get started that where do we stand in the whole setup that women in the tech. So this is where we stand currently. I mean, I will be little, we had plenty of good sessions since morning with a lot of the philosophical side of it, well-being side of it, but I'll come to the key point like mudde pe aate hain. If you are there to come in the domain of data science, I'll talk mostly around those things, that what it takes to come or grow in these domains. So let us first see that where do we stand. So in terms of the data, I'll mostly talk with data, being 16 years in this whole industry. So if you see that from, say, 95, there we started counting. Before that, it didn't make any sense at all to count these numbers, because I believe it was so minute that there was no point that we start counting. So if we start there, we started from 15% in the tech world, and we have reached approximately 28%. And being a professional from the data science, I'll also have the similar number of women working in the analytics and the data science profiles. The number looks pretty similar, I would say. A little less, but on the upward trajectory. So how many of you feel that it's a good number? Because it's growing. I mean, if I can see raised hands. No one feels it's a good number? At least it's growing, right? 15% to 28%, not a bad number to look at. Okay, so let me come back and let me think in a different way. Okay, hardly any people. So yeah, in most of the Women's Day, I try to crack one joke, which happens to be very useful most of the times. I generally see 1% male sitting in the audience, and I start asking, how do you feel that sitting around, I mean, sitting in a hall where 99% of the members are female and you are the only 1%, how are you feeling? And they feel a little awkward with an awkward smile. And then we say that we feel the same in the meeting rooms. Because most of the times, I or maybe one more girl, the only candidate in the whole meeting, and rest of are male. And then it becomes so difficult for us to make you hear our voice. But unfortunately here, I don't see like that many male also so that I can crack the joke. So I'm not getting into that. So in that context, let's see one more data point. That in a meeting room where, say, approximately 5 members are there, what is the probability that you are the only person who is female, or maybe there is no female in the meeting room? So that's approximately 60%. You can say that, okay, my meetings are like 10-member meetings. The number might go to 40%, but not so great to look at, right? So then the question becomes that why is the case? But even before we get into that why, let us see that what is the real story behind the scene. Any clue that how many CEOs or leaders in the tech domains are male? Any number, approximate numbers will work.
80%.
Female?
No, males are 80%.
Okay, so female are 20%. Okay, let's see. Very close. So tech representation overall in the job, I mean tech jobs, women are 26.7% in 2025. No requirement of judging this number, good, bad, ugly. So yeah, less than 11% of not only the CEOs, it includes the senior leadership also. who are male. And women in tech earn 16% lesser pay. I think the number is little understated because one point in time I was with one of the, biggest in a way that in their employee size, and they are proponent in terms of the diversity. So this company had 50% of the women workforce. And I would use over the word still. Still they are very profitable and one of the biggest in the service domain. There also this pay gap, I was with people analytics that point in time, and there was a drive from the company to understand that where lies the gap in terms of designation, in terms of the pay scale, having all the other parameters, what we call ceteris paribus, having all the other parameters like qualification, skill set, years of experience, the kind of org they have been previously, or the tiers of the institutes they have studied. If you keep everything similar, how the pay gaps or the designation gaps are. Pay gap wise, we found on average, not only purely tech, but mostly towards the tech side, women get 20% lesser pay, even within that org, which is one of the proponent of diversity, where 50% is women workforce. And I remember one scenario, the day I joined that company, there was a big hall where the induction sessions were going on. They talked all the nice things about the diversity. They were at 40% diversity at that point in time, so many other good things. And then they started showing their leadership, the final slide that how the hierarchy goes like. I remember one employee asked a question, sir, you talked about the 50% diversity and everything, but in the top 5 level, the leadership level which are actually, I don't see any female face over there. And the people who were presenting, they didn't have any answer that why is it so. Maybe nowadays they have added 1 or 2 more faces in the leadership, but that is the scenario. And that pretty well explain this 10.9% number. So even if you forget about CEOs, the senior leadership also suffers from this number. And mid-career attrition. 56% of the women leave their tech mid-career. It's not only, we had the previous discussion where we know that because of, okay. So, so it's not only about the child care or something, but at the same time, they feel that they are stuck. There is a ceiling over there that being in this career, sacrificing so much on the family side, the kind of growth that I can expect, the kind of growth that I deserve, I'm not getting. So they find demotivated. And that's the reason they drop off or quit. And quitting, as we previously also discussed, that it's the easiest task. You will get support from your family and from the org to quit, but not to remain in the game. So don't always take the easy path. So yeah, now if you think that why there is a gap, any point, we will of course come, since I'm here, I have thought of like putting things in the deck, but if I have this from this group, that what do you think, that why there is a gap? What are the points that is actually leading to these numbers? Numbers are just the outcome. There will be stories, there will be reasons, there will be practices behind these. So what are the things that you feel that exist, leads to these cases?
Maybe self-grooming itself is limited, rather than like the outside factor. I think there's a limitation when it comes to self-grooming.
Yes, that's the first point. Very fair. Yeah. Any other points?
Upskilling.
Yes. Anything else? Okay.
Push from the organization at times, like even if we are trying hard, we don't get the appreciation or recognition or promotion.
Really discouraging, and we leave midway.
Anyone else?
Lack of support. No support.
Fair.
Yeah, succumbing to the obvious. Women go, you have seen growing up, our mothers, they left work after they had us, so.
Biases.
Very fair. Okay, so let us see that what all things that you all are saying is reflected actually. We, as a women, tech employees or even non-tech employees, we mostly feel the same thing. I think these are all that we all feel, and that actually reflected from the voice of this group. But now the point is, if I try to filter out that as an aspirant of a tech domain, or if you want to come to the data science domain, uh, we see there are too many reasons. Now, if I segregate between those, not everything we can handle, not everything we can manage. Certain things you can keep for yourself, that I have to do these things, and certain things the leaders or the corporates have to do. Whatever is the social norm, I don't think individually we can change anything. So then maybe I would say that forget about those. Let it be whatever it is. From your family, if you can get any help or if you can drive any change, do that. But what is emergency, what is immediate that you can do, let's concentrate there. So as an aspirant, what you can do. So I segregated in that way. All the blue points which are you can handle, or if you are an aspirant to become a data science professional or a tech professional, maybe these are the things you can handle. The green and the orange ones are something that the leaders or the corporates have to proactively take care of, to bridge this gap, to minimize the gap. And rest of the yellow ones, close your eyes, forget about it. You cannot do anything, move on. Do whatever you can. And the leaders, I would request all of them to drive that. But rest of the things, I mean, let's see what happens. So if we concentrate your part, if you are an aspirant to grow or become or remain in the domain or come in the domain, let's see what all things you can do. So now the first question comes that what you need to upskill to be in the domain. It all depends that what you want to be. Now, in the current industry, we can debate and discuss in terms of the segregation, but these are the 6 major heads in terms of the types of analytics or data science jobs. First are the data engineering job, who actually will prepare the data for you to be utilized or to make useful for the professionals or for the leaders. Second is the analyst, who will utilize the data and do all those slice and dice analysis, drive the insights for the leader to take the decisions for the business. Then comes the BI professionals, who will actually help you to give the easy to digest, easy to understand the visuals. And then the ML engineering that we are calling out, or the GenAI side of it, can come under the data science perspective also. So they will help you whatever model or the things that you have built to deploy. And last, the traditional part of the statistician. So now based on that, based on your aspiration, you have to first map that what my skill sets are and where do I want to be. That will give you the mapping that which field or which particular thing you have to upskill. So if these are the set of skill set that we talk about primarily, there can be subsets of this, but these are the major heads. If you see from this one, you can clearly understand that for which profile you need which skills to be developed. But whatever you do, I'll pause here maybe for 30 seconds so that people can look at it and have any questions around it. But the point is, whatever you do, what it comes primarily is communication and the storytelling. That becomes super important. Whatever analysis you do, whatever analysis you present or something, if you don't make it relevant, if you don't tell the story that what is there for the leaders who is spending his precious 30 minutes or her 30 minutes in this room, you will never be able to sell your story. End of the day, you are a seller. You have to sell that whatever you are presenting, whatever the effort that you have made, you actually have to convince people that this is going to help you, not only for yourself, also for the business to drive. So that now you tell me that in this particular slide, you are looking at the slide, there is something missing. This is not a perfect slide. Any clue what is wrong in this slide? And if you become a presenter from a tech or a non-tech professional in the storytelling or the communication side of things, you shouldn't make this mistake. What is this mistake?
There's no legend.
Bang on. So what is dark blue, what is light blue? You don't know. I know that I'm talking about if it's a darker blue, it's a primary skill you need to acquire. If it's a lighter blue, it's a secondary skill you need to acquire. But it's inside my mind, right? I haven't told explicitly anywhere, and I cannot assume people to understand also that what it is. So this is a very small thing, but I would say that this is also part of a storytelling or a communication. Communication is not always that will verbally say. Communication is always also that what you are communicating through your presentations, decks, or any kind of visuals that you are talking about. That has to be communicating that what is something that you are trying to tell. So yeah, I'll pause here for a moment and we'll try to take questions, because this is one of the pivotal things that I wanted to land to so that it can be helpful for the aspirants to decide their future. Any question from anyone? Okay, sure. So yeah, now it comes that what is the other side of the story? That is,
I have a question here.
Yeah, please.
So does somebody has to have the engineering background or technical background to opt for any of it?
Okay, this is a very fair question. I'm not from an engineering background. I have done my master's in economics, which actually entails the study of econometrics, statistics, mathematics, etc. So this is a very genuine question to solve this problem, why I am saying this. When I go to the universities or talk to any tech companies, the primary point of view I get from the leaders is that it's very difficult to drive this percentage. Why is it so? Because if you look around in the tech colleges, the women percent, the student percent itself is so low, you cannot expect a fair participation in the hiring process. Then the next question I ask them that, where do you go? Do you only go to IITs or the core tech companies for say data science and analytics profile? The obvious answer is yes. But the point is, why do you need to go to only engineering companies? Because engineering tell you how to write the code. They don't tell you actually that what is the statistics. How do you read a output which is run through R, Python, or any other code-based thing using some particular statistical models. So it's like, like any retail company, the quality of the product that you are selling, it depends on the quality of product that you are sourcing. It's precisely like that. If you go to the right company or right institute with the right set of study or the stream where there is diversity and completely aligning with the analytics and the data science domain, you will never face any challenge to drive these kind of percentage difference, minimize this kind of percentage difference. So the precise answer for you is, you can obviously come to this domain if you have a mathematical based background, say economics, statistics, econometrics, things like that. It's not at all mandatory to come from a tech background. So yeah, I think we are like almost towards the closing time. So just give one example that maybe I can skip this also. So first, the other thing becomes that you may be trained on a lot of models, but the bigger point becomes what to apply where. That is something, I won't say it's a complete training that is required, but that the intelligence that the industry is looking for. We are getting lot of professionals with very high-end tech knowledge, but with a lack of knowledge that the mapping behind that, what kind of statistical techniques or the AI/ML techniques that has to be used. I have given a mapping over here, but in the interest of time, maybe I can skip that. But the major point is what we have to remember, the whole industry is moving from the traditional modeling side towards a GenAI side. So if you want to retain in this company, grow in this, in this industry, you have to upskill yourself in terms of those set of knowledge, those set of trainings where you can move your expertise from the left direction to this bottom right direction, which is primarily this analysis, which solves for say image processing, which can be applicable in a supply chain, can be applicable in a e-commerce or a retail domain, which are basically the biggest domain where the requirement of analytics and data science are relevant right now. Yeah. And so I'll be closing with the last one, which is basically the leadership requirement. First of all, you have to change the mindset. Most of the time, if I take 2 more minutes, does that work? Sure. So first of all, you have to change the mindset. Most of the time, I find leaders talking that I have hired one women leader and my quota or my duty is done. Don't ever hire a person just to fulfill your quota. You have to believe from inside that this person I'm hiring because she deserves this role. This mindset has to be changed. Otherwise, it will always be filling this room with female candidates. You will never believe that they are the deserving candidates. This has to come from inside, from the leaders. Emphasize on the quality of login hour. Don't emphasize on the quality of work. The other way around actually. You have to emphasize on the quality of the work and not the login hours. Most of the companies I have seen that people are valuing more to those set of male candidates who are coming say 9 a.m. in the morning and leaving at 9 p.m. in the morning and evening. So they feel that since they are logging in, they are delivering more. Most of the times they don't have anything to take care in the family, that's why they stay back. We have to understand that. Maybe a female candidate who has a lot of stuff to do at home, she does the job perfectly, very efficiently, maybe with the stipulated 8 hours time. Segregate that. Understand who is delivering what and with what quality, not the login hours. And pay attention on the true number. Don't go by assumption, this is bad versus this is true. This is my gut feeling. Gut feeling doesn't work. You see that where is the gap. Are you not giving promotions or the pay scale as per their skill set or something? Data always talk the truth. And enable smooth comeback post-maternity. And I would say the paternity leaves are very crucial here because that actually gives you the acceptance that male and female in the family both have the equal responsibility towards the household and child care. The moment you neglect about the paternity leave, by design you are making the women accountable for everything. So that means she has to do a double shift, which doesn't work. Juggling of work actually give you a half-hearted intent and which will never give you a full 100% outcome also. So unless it's kind of segregated perfectly and planned from your, not only from your family life, but also from your professional life that is accepted and the plan is there also, it's never going to work. So yeah, that's all from my side. I'm not sure if there is any time for the question answer, but I'm here around maybe for another hour. Please reach out to me for any question, be it technical, be it this balancing thing, I'm available. Thank you everyone.